Boost 1019, getting things ready for you Friday night, our third birthday concert. Christon Gray is going to open for Torrin Wells in Holland. We can't wait to see you.
Yeah, big fan of Holland, too. So we're both from Ohio. It'll be good to see her again. I haven't seen her in probably a year or so.
More with the man himself. That's Christon Gray. 9 minutes on Boost.
Stop me.
He's coming to STL from Ohio Friday nights. Christon Gray on Boost 1019. Why is Ohio the home to so much talent? You, Holland, 21 Pilots, I could go on and on.
We've got a lot of scars and wounds to heal from. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers and Cleveland Indians tried. A lot of retribution we're trying to find here.
You're trying to redeem your state's rep.
That's the best way I can put it.
Every time.
KJ52 from Boost 1019. Mike Couchman and you getting to know Christon Gray. He opens up our third birthday concert this Friday night with Holland and Torrin Wells.
I'm an artist that's born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. Been doing music for about 15 years. Taught myself how to play piano. Come from a musical family. Jazz, classical, gospel. My sound is probably a mix between Stevie Wonder and Drake. And everything that spans in between. So, yeah, just trying to use it to glorify God.
When you have your music hat off, what's Christon Gray like just in life?
I'm married. I've been married for 7 going on 8 years. We've got a 4-year daughter. Just trying to work through life right now. Being an artist in the industry is not easy.
You say your daughter is 4. What's her name?
She's 4. Her name is Maya Blue Gray.
Gray's your given last name, not like a stage name.
It is. So, Christon, like a girl's name, not to be confused with Mr. 50 Shades of Darkness. Christon Gray, so we get a lot of that.
Right. For Maya, why'd you land on blue versus all of the other colors you could have paired her up with?
Jazz, blues, it's definitely an endearing musical term. She's named after a mix between Maya Angelou and the genre blues. So, trying to be deep and artistic. You know how we are.
I'm learning. Christon Gray is on Boost 1019 and in St. Louis Friday night. In a few minutes, he's going to talk about the biggest mistakes of his life. While you wait for that, grab your tickets to see him with Holland and Torrin Wells through our app and boost1019.com. Do you run from labels? Let people label you? I'm Mike on Boost 1019 talking to Christon Gray. Are you a Christian performer or a performer who's Christian?
As long as Christ is attached to it, I don't really think too much about it. I'm more along those lines. I'd never want to be associated with something that is not Christ.
Boost 1019, Mike talking to Christon Gray. Biggest mistake of your life?
The only difficulty in answering that question is finding one.
No. Joshua Micah on Boost 1019. I'm Mike Couchman taking you backstage a bit early, 3 days out from Christon Gray in St. Louis. Friday night with Torrin Wells and Holland. We were talking about your biggest mistakes earlier, Christon.
Probably just not honoring my wife like I should. Just really putting my career first a lot of times. Not honoring the marriage. And as I said earlier, we suffered a lot from that. You can't gain retribution for everything, but you can certainly learn from your mistakes. That's probably been one of the biggest ones that's weighed on me over time.
Wisdom. Some people found you through Kirk Franklin's record label, but Christon Gray and Kirk, you're not in business together anymore. Can you go into that?
Sure. Without any level of incrimination, Kirk Franklin is an extremely amazing person on and off the mic and behind the studio and stage. We didn't personally see eye to eye on a lot of ways to market my music. Having a sound that's so diverse. I'm a rapper as well as a singer, so I've done a lot of work with Andy Mineo, Lecrae, those guys. But then at the same time, I grew up with a gospel background. Just a number of things that kind of happened over the course of the year after my last album came out, just proved that it was a better route for me to go independent. Next hour on Boost, we'll roll a couple of songs from that project. It's like maybe the next best thing to hearing these songs live and in person. Friday night. St. Louis's Flame and Mike Rio keeping it real, keeping it 100 on Boost 1019. I'm Mike talking to Christon Gray. Where do you fall on that secular versus Christian thing they were rapping about in Escrow? I think that trying to remove God and remove Christ from the equation is what puts us in trouble. Real talk, you're Skiller.
Talk to you later.
Really hope he does that song Friday night. Christon Gray on Boost 1019. He's opening for Torrin Wells and Holland at our birthday concert. Christon, what are some things fans ask you the most? I've had certain people hit me up on Twitter and say, hey, are you a Christian rapper? And I simply replied, yes. You're not going to label you, but you're not going to stop someone else if they want to. NF Social Club Misfits on Boost 1019. Mike Couchman and you getting into the life of Christon Gray. He opens up our third birthday concert Friday night with Holland, Torrin Wells. Earlier, Christon, you were stressing that you don't want to glorify yourself, so this is kind of an awkward question to ask. What can we expect from you Friday night? Well, I'll just say this. Not even to be deep, but glorifying myself is more along the lines of not acknowledging God. I look at myself as his work, his handiwork, and I'm probably the biggest fan of my own music because I didn't write it. He did.
literally, he gave me the words to say and the people to help me say it. But I think what you can expect is a very vulnerable, honest depiction of where I am as a human being and as a believer. Every time you see me, anything that I'm sharing through music or an interview is current. I don't necessarily speak about things that happened 10 years ago only. You're going to hear musicality, you're going to hear soul, you're going to hear artistic expression, you're going to hear jazz, you're going to hear classical, you're going to hear pop, you're going to hear hip-hop. But the most important thing you'll hear in this message is a desire to grow and to follow Jesus. And I hope that that's what transfers more than anything else.
If I wasn't sold before, I am now. Christon Gray, Holland and Torrin Wells, Concord Church, Friday night. His biggest song to date is On the Way Before Noon. He'll be back to talk about it. Meanwhile, you'll find tickets, in fact, $4 off if you get them today versus wait until Friday. Go to boost1019.com or get into our app.
Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me.
So who got in his way that made him write that song? Christon Gray on Boost 1019, and in concert Friday night, Holland and Torrin Wells with Christon. Unless somebody stops you, Christon Gray, who's in your way?
Depends on the day. I think sometimes it's me. Sometimes we need stopping. Sometimes I'm going too far. Need to be stopped. Other than that, I think that it's just a statement to anyone in the industry. There's been some stories that I could tell, but with a radio interview, not a therapy session. But I mean, anyone who's been in the entertainment industry for any amount of time knows that everybody doesn't want to see you succeed. It's a long road, less traveled sometimes. So those people know who they are. I mean, there's been people who've tried to ruin my career, people who have really tried to attack my character, my life, mistakes that I've made that have held me back. And I think that song was just an anthem that a lot of people need to sing in their personal lives, that unless I'm doing it wrong, I won't be stopped. But Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me.
Christon, can't wait until Friday night. We can be anthemic with you when you do stop me. On your way to St. Louis, be safe. Thanks for checking in.
Okay, sounds good, Mike. Hey, thanks so much.
The full lineup at Concord Church Friday night. Christon Gray opens after our pre-show with prizes for you from Sky Zone and Fenton. Then Torrin Wells goes on and Holland will headline. Save $4 on your tickets if you get them before Friday. That's assuming it doesn't sell out between now and then. Go to our app and boost1019.com for your seats.